Hello everyone, it's September and I know I haven't had an update since May. Didn't get to work on it too much for a while. I'm kind of back to it. I've been adding some lighting, uh, blinking lights on the top of some of the taller structures. I've ran a bus line around one of the mains. I'm almost completely around now and it runs much better. Um, and just kind of cleaning up some things. But so I'll kind of show you some of the things I did, and here we go. First of all, I wanted to show you the radio tower that I built. It was there. It came in three sections, and each section had three pieces. It's the triangular round towers, the traditional round towers that a lot of radio stations use. Um, they're gentleman on eBay out in Colorado that prints them. He prints the triangular and the square ones. So I bought it, and as you can see, I have the blinking light at the top and I have the solid light in the middle. I think this is equivalent to 225 feet. So what I did is, you can see that there's each of those three painted sections is one section all the way down. I mounted it down below, and I took some thread and made some guy wires. And the antenna at the top, all that is a piece of sprue from one of the building kits. And I just painted it red and white. I used the blinking light kit that I got off of eBay from a gentleman in Georgia. They work great. I just had to glue the micro LEDs. It has two of them come with it. One, glue it to the top, run the wires down through it. The stationary one I had to glue in there and run the wires through it, and they go all the way down underneath, and they go to a circuit board. As you can see here, circuit board has the capability of the two lights. One of them is solid, one of them blinks. You can run them with just blinking lights, which I'll show you. I did on my buildings and my water towers. So you can use the one blinking light, you can use the one solid light, or both. And it runs off of 12 volts, so I have to run a separate 12 volt power supply right there to it. But it's no problem. The kit comes with the circuit board and the two micro LEDs for $15. It's not bad, and they work great. So I've got 6 or 7 sets of them, and I think I've got 5 or 6 running on the layout. So there's the tower. And it goes with my WJBC, WB&Q, WBWN radio station, which is out here on the south edge of Bloomington. WJBC 1230 AM, WBWN 107 Country, WB&Q 101.5 Pop Rock. And so that tower looks a lot better. I had the Bush tower, as you can see here, which is basically a microwave tower. But this one works a lot better. I've got some other pieces to make a couple of shorter ones. I'm going to make a shorter one for the railroad yard for their communication, and I'm going to have a short one over at the airport for their communication. And if I can get in, he's not making the triangular ones right now, he's making the square ones. But if he starts making the triangular ones, I'll probably buy some more and build one more tower, because we have one on the south side of town. So, but it looks pretty neat, you know. Glued all three pieces together, threw all three of them together, ran the wires through it, put the LEDs up, the sprue on the top, the guy wires, voila. Over here you can see, well, as we're passing through the yard, I'm going to have probably one end to the other, I'm going to have one of a very short, maybe a 50-foot piece of that tower with a blinking light on it, and that'll be the communications tower for the yard, for the radio. And I'll put it probably at one end or the other. I haven't decided yet. Here's my blinking light on top of the normal water tower that I have. LA State Normal, which is just 2 blocks from my house. I just used the single line, and I drilled a hole in the top, drilled a hole in the bottom. It's hollow. Ran the wire through it, on down underneath to the circuit board, which is right underneath it on the outside. Voila, it works. And over here you can see that I have the 2 the two dormitories, Hewitt Manchester Hall at ISU. I've got a blinking light at the top of each one. I took a little piece of sprue on each one and put it on there. Then I put glued the LED to it and ran the wire down underneath. And I'll show you these at night because I've got both of them lit up now, and I've got some of the windows blocked out on one. But they work really well for the buildings too. And we'll show you some more. See the Towanda Water Tower. It has a flashing light on the top of it. And I did the same. I ran down through the center of it, the wire. Also on the Bloomington Tower over here, I have a blinking light. It's the same circuit boards. I have one opened here so you can see it more of these. There's two of these boards that run the two water towers. So as you can see, there's power runs into both of them. On top, you've got a common wire, and then you've got one positive wire for the stationary light and one for the blinking light. And it's all configured. There's nothing to change. It's plug and play. Like I said, I think it's $15.95 from the gentleman in Georgia, and I'll put the link down below on eBay where you can get those because they're really great. And of course, there's my Harley Davidson sign that I made out of some evergreen piping, some thin square pieces of wood to make a frame, printed off the sign on photo paper, glued them on, put two LEDs inside of it, and ran the wire down. And I did put some holes in the top because it was sealed, and when you have LEDs like that, you don't really want to close them in, so they're kind of there for ventilation. But looks pretty good. So the other thing that I'm going to be doing is over here I'm getting ready to work on this area, which is the Steak and Shake area. Well, you can see where I have my little Dairy Queen right here, and the Steak and Shake, that's Main Street that we run down through. Well, in between those two, there's a creek called Sugar Creek that runs through there. It used to flood all the time when the original Steak and Shake was there. So so it's 3/4 inches thick. I'm going to cut both sides. I'm going to cut the creek out and cut the sides at an angle, put some really thin wood down below and paint it and on the angle banks. And it's a concrete aqueduct basically in this area. So I'll run that all the way through there, and I'll have one of the old-fashioned bridges like I have on the overpasses over there with the old concrete abutments. I'll have one of those on there because this is back in the 70s, and I'll have that built, and I'll have it running underneath here, and then I'm going to have to build the bridge in. I'm going to use the bridge on both sides, make it look real good, and that's where it goes underneath the railroad out in Normal. So let me show you some of this at night. The lights look pretty neat. It looks pretty animated. Of course, I always like to start with the airport. It works pretty neat. So the water tower's over here, and somewhere in here there's going to be a traffic control tower, and there's going to be a pole with a revolving light, and of course it'll have the probably somewhere down in here I'll have the other little short tower with their radio communications to be away from the runway. Here's Bloomington's at night. So it lights up pretty neat. It's a pretty consistent, slow blinking as it was in real life. The normal one and the Towanda are white, so they kind of have a pink tint to them when they're on and off when the lights are totally out, but that's okay. Works good. Here's Veterans Parkway at night, coming into from Towanda to Normal. Here's the bars. There's the Apple Tree Records. Well, I used to buy a bunch of records there and get the stereos there, and then we used to go over next door to the gallery and watch all the little bands play there and have a couple of brews. It was a great place. There's the Normal Public Library. You can see that the dorms are lit up with the flashing lights. I've got one of them where I've got some of the windows blocked off, so it looks like some people aren't home and some people are home. A little bit to do to it yet. You can see the Normal water tower over there blinking. So it gives it a really neat effect when everything's moving like that. You can see over there the water tower, or the radio tower, is blinking at night. It's reflecting off the wood wall, but it looks pretty neat. So if you kind of take a picture from the back here, kind of gives you a feeling of everything running, flashing, moving. Yeah, we're going to work on that, get some more of it going. So that's what I've been doing. So thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, like, and I'll try to get an update to you sooner. I'm going to try to do a little more to it. In the meantime, everybody take care, and have a good one. Bye.